that is why what is so wonderful about a shepherd is that a shepherd knows his sheep personally, individually. He does not know his sheep collectively. Nabati ka mo na sang istorya sang isa ka shepherd nga galakat siya. Ang iya nga sheep duha ang kolor, puti kag itom. Ti samtang galakat siya, pinamangkot siyang isa ka tao, sila niya, Brad, pila na kabilog ang sheep mo man. Sila niya ang puti, kuno ang itom. Sila niya ang puti, 30 na. Sila niya ang itom niya, sila niya 30 man ah. Lakat naman siya. Sunod tong tao, Brad, pila na ka kilometro per may ang ginalakat ninyo, no? Mag-feed ka ni isang, mag-graze ka ni isang sheep mo, sila niya ang puti o kun ang itom. Sila niya ang puti mga duha ka kilometro ah. Liyang itom niya, sila niya duha man ka kilometro ah. Kat naman sila. Di Brad, mga pila na ka kilo ang ginapakaon mo sa sheep mo, sila niya ang puti o kun ang itom. Sila niya ang puti na mga 5 ka kilo na isang isang hay, isang grass. Sila niya ang itom niya, sila niya 5 ka kilo man no? Di daw nangakig na gito ang tao, sila niya, ano ka man imo, Bradman? Daw, pamangkot ka, tapos mambal ka kung puti o kung ang itom, tapos pareho man ng gali ang sabat mo. Nyabi ko anay kung ano gid ang kinalain. Tisling sang shepherd, siling niya, Brad, balaan mo ya, ang puti na nga mga sheep, ako na. Siling ang itom niya, siling niya, akon man no? Now, you know, this is how the shepherd would love the sheep. No? It's really personal. No? A shepherd would always celebrate the individuality of his sheep. Muna kani kuno nga, what is so common among them, may gate ginaya ang shepherd, no? And every afternoon when the sheep would go home, may checkpoint na siya. Kag gina-inspection niya ginatanan. Kagang mga sheep niya may mga ngalan na very uniquely their own. No? May si long hair abi, may naman si flat nose, may si Bigfoot, may si wide ears. Ginatawag niya ginaya individually. No, tapos ang balo niya, uy, ano kayo mo ya, si tambok nga gakiang-kiang ikaw. Kagina inspection niya na. You know, I was given once a book by a former parish priest, and the title is They Smell Like Sheep. No? And that is what a shepherd should be. You will smell like your flock because you are immersed in the life of your beloved. Amo na kung mother ka gidyan, you are really a working mother, tutok na tutok ka nga mother, siyempre baho mo baby, no? Kasi ikaw man pangsut ka man, no? Kaya you are always with your child, no? And this is the challenge for us, that becoming leaders is to be immersed in your flock. It's not the role of a leader to be distanced from the flock. And we are invited to do the same, because that is what a good shepherd would do. That is always present to his flock. Di kun kaysa in parenting, we think it's enough to just give and provide for our children. But that's what we miss. And this is the struggle that we are in. With the many who are overseas workers, we can just imagine the vacuum that distance would bring. Nga layo ka imo ya sa imo kabataan, no? May couple na gani nga ang babae graduate man siya college pero naguntat siya trabaho kay gusto sang bana niya nga seaman nga hindi na siya magtrabaho. Titungod kaya lang siya sa balay, bored siya, no? Fiancé niya, ginahambala niya na iyang fiancé nga siling sweetheart, pakasal na kita, siling nga hindi pwede kay ay pakuya ka save. No, siling nga ti ba ka boring sa balay, no? Siling nga to kapadala ka man sang kwarta, but that is not enough. No, I want you to be here. Hasta nga na-convince niya gid niya ang iyang fiancé nga. Siling nga diri ka na lang bala. Sagi niya gid sang convince. Tamo tambal sang fiancé niya, siling nga katagi lang ko 1 month, No, masakay ko yan. 1 year gali. Tagi lang ko 1 year. Kaya pagkatapos 1 year, balik na ko diri. Siling niya, really? Siling niya, oo. Siling niya, promise? Siling niya, promise. Siling niya, galing, mista ka di permi. Siling sang fiancé niya, siling niya, what I promise you is this, masulat gid ako sa imo adlaw-adlaw. And you know, naglakat siya abroad, nagsakay siya sa barko, kag na-fulfill niya iya promise sa iya nga fiancé. Adlaw-adlaw ang fiancé niya, kabaton gid sing sulat, halin sa seaman. Kaya nga, anti siya maglakat, nagsulat na siya 365 letters. Kagtapos bili niya sa postman, kag ginatagtag sang postman, adlaw-adlaw dito sa babayi. After 1 year, ang babayi nagpakasal, hindi sa seaman, kundi sa postman. Okay. Joke man lang na. No? Kaya mo na iya permi kita. That is what presence would do. So it's not enough to just provide. We have to be present. And secondly, it will never suffice to just be called a professional. We have to be passionate in what we are doing. That is why passion is really different from profession. If we would truly define it. Professionalism is a word that is abused naman subong daw. Tanan professional na. No? Anong silingon? May mga professional squatter, may professional swindler. No? When you are good at your craft, you are called a professional. It talks about skills, about your talent, is your capacity, no? Your gift maybe. No, that's what professionals are. But passion is different. It comes from the very core of your person. It was Hegel, the philosopher, who said, nothing great in the world has been accomplished without passion. Because it's your total person. When you call professional, no, mo na gani may PF kita, pilai mo professional fee. No? Mo ginapermi ang pamangkot. No? Pilai mo professional fee. Because it's about your stature, your mastery of the subject matter or the task you are entrusted with. That is what professionals are. But when you talk about passionate, it goes beyond money. And when we look at it, Jesus would never be included in the levels of the professionals. Why? Because why siya gani katapos tuon? Why siya gani katuon? Why siya sing degree nga maipakita? But that is what shepherding really is. It's not about your skills. It's about where your heart is. That is why Jesus would separate the good and the true shepherd and the bad shepherd. No? Because the bad shepherd would just leave his flock if his life is in danger. But no, the good shepherd will always be there, ready to offer himself. That is why, my dear brothers and sisters, when you look at passion, we are invited to really reflect on our contribution. That whatever our work may be, we have to put our heart in it. No? And you can just imagine if you are working and you are just after monetary compensation. Para sa imo, kwarta-kwarta lang, pera-pera lang. No? You know, you realize that no, you will never find fulfillment in whatever you are doing. No? And many of us, we have our jobs, we have our work, but our heart is not there. No? And we will live really a very empty life. No? I was able, when I was giving a seminar to teachers, I was really lifted up, I would say, by a teacher who approached me. You know, Father, siling niya, nagmaestra lang ko tungod kay hindi na ako paggastuhan sang tiya ko kung hindi ako magmaestra. Siling niya, but you know, I abhor teaching. No, siling niya, hindi ko gidya gusto ni Father Tani na magmaestra. You know, siling niya, maglunis na gani, ay grabe na akong pamatsyag. No? Dagasakit na akong tiyan, nagasulab na akong sulok-sulok. No? Kaya kung maglunis na, Pag-abot ko na sa eskwelahan, gadali na ko nga maglasing ko para nga makapauli na ako. Pag Martes na, mamambal na mo, saan naman mabirnes man. Kag kung weekend na, matanawon ko na baw, saan naman katapusan bulan man, para nga sweldo naman. And you can just imagine how miserable our life is. When our heart, we don't have passion in whatever we are doing. Muna may isa ka company sa Manila, ang tanan nga nagatrabaho sa sina nga company, daw mo lang ginabantayan how a 15 at katapusan. No? 15, 30. No? And one day naglinog. Nagsinggit ang isa, katapusan na. Nagsabat ang isa, Raulo ka pala 28 pa lang eh. No? Para sa iya, yung katapusan na yan, hindi na yung katapusan ng mundo, kundi swelduhan na yan para sa iya. So when we look at it, in our lives, how many of us are really passionate in whatever we are doing? But you know, when you are passionate in whatever we are doing, no, you enter into a time zone and work becomes play. Now, when we love what we are doing, daw, kadasig sang panahon. No, and that's really the theory of relativity of Einstein. No, ako na namian ikaw yasang imo trabaho, daw, hindi ka na kabalo sang oras. No? And when you are passionate in whatever you are doing, daw ang kwartaya daw, consequence na lang na sang imo nga love for your work. Manambal gani sang isa ka author, when you love, when you work without looking at the clock, time will come when you will buy without looking at the price. Kanami gid sina. Ang sila nga, when you work without looking at the clock, daw ay kanayaga isip sang oras, time will come when you will buy without looking at the price. Kaya ano mo na kwarta mo, why mo na yung ginatanaw na yung kung pila man na yung presyo niya. Kaya ako gusto ko niya nga baklon, maski pila pa na yung iya nga price. But it is a consequence of working without looking at the clock. That is why, my dear brothers and sisters, we are challenged to really be passionate in whatever we are doing. When we tell our children, what do you love doing? And we force them into a profession that they don't find meaning in their job. No? And lastly, person, not just possession. No? When we talk of person, we talk of character. No? We want to be in possession. We want to have power. But that's not enough. That is why there was one author who said that he made a difference between formal authority and moral authority. Formal authority is an authority given to you because maybe you're elected into office, you're appointed to that position, you are voted by the people, you are, the power comes from without. No? Mayor ikaw, no? Parish priest ikaw, manager ikaw. No, you are, the power comes from without. No? It's given to you. But moral authority is different. It comes from within. It goes beyond position. Amo na may makita kita ka mga tao nga, why magid sila position, but when they speak, we would listen. When they would lead, we would follow. That is the Good Shepherd. Good Shepherd is not about positions. Why ginasaya sila niya, why ginasaya kung may maagaw sang iya, your role as a shepherd. But it's very effective. Why? Because the sheep would listen to his voice. Because of his own character. Because every sheep knows that there is somebody whom we could trust. That there is the leader whose voice would lead us to good pastures. There is somebody who would offer his life for all of us. That is why it's your person, not your position, that matters most. That is why what is important is that we become the embodiment of what a leader really is. Kaya sometimes we become contradictions of what we say. No? There was one author who said, no, Ralph Waldo Emerson, who you are is so loud that I cannot hear what you are saying. Who you are is so loud that I cannot hear what you are saying. You can just imagine, ikaw nga tatay, hambalon mo ang bata mo nga hindi ka manigarilyo. Tapos ikaw ya ang imo nga baba daw simboryo. No, you can just imagine. You tell your child, hindi ka mag-gamble tungod kay it will bring you nowhere, pero gabi-gabi ara ka sa casino. Who you are is so loud that people will not hear what you are saying. Mana, kadamo sang invitation man sa akon to give a talk. Pero ay gidyasing may naga-invite sa akon nga mag-talk kung paano magpaniwang. Kaya daw, hindi gid ako mapatihan. No? Because you will become a living contradiction of what I will be saying. My dear brothers and sisters, this is our struggle. And this is what the shepherd wanted to tell us. That it's not enough to just provide, we have to be present. It will never suffice to be called a professional. We have to be passionate in whatever we are doing. Possession is not enough. Who we are as a person is really very important. That is why we have people like Mahatma Gandhi, who was never elected into office. Because there are people who have formal authority, but they have no moral authority. Hitler, when he would speak, the whole of Europe would tremble, but you are never inspired by Hitler. What made Nelson Mandela great is that he has moral authority and he has formal authority. That is why when he was elected as president of South Africa, South Africa was recognized by the whole world. Pope John Paul II became a saint because he was really instrumental in bringing down the wall in Berlin when communism was brought down because of what Pope John Paul did as a contribution to people, to democracy around the world. Mother Teresa was a fragile-looking woman, but no, even the presidents would listen to her because it's not the possession, it's who you are as a person. May Jesus, the Good Shepherd, lead us to green pastures. And we continue to pray to the Good Shepherd. As one puts it, if you worry and you can sleep, don't count sheep. You talk to the shepherd. Please rise.